warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Siti NURAIN. My menstrual number is 052739. Okay, based on the assignment given, my group will explain the example of the company that we choose and what information are relevant to the sector. Okay, public company is a part of the economy that consists of public service and public enterprise. The public sector includes public goods and government service. Okay, for private sector is intended to make a profit for the business owner. So after we discuss, we have agreed to choose SPRITZER as the private company and Financial Report of Kelantan as the public company. SPRITZER is one of the business that manufacture beverage products for its customer. SPRITZER is the largest natural drink bottling business in Malaysia. For Financial Report of Kelantan, Financial Report of Kelantan is a financial statement that records all revenue collection and expenditure events to invest to manage the state government. State finance office are established in each state. So for the income statement, there are little different between SPRITZER and Financial Report of Kelantan. The most notable difference between SPRITZER and Kelantan financial report is the format used to determine the income statement between the company. The way the income statement is calculated for SPRITZER is use the standard formats as often used by other business. The way is SPRITZER used make it easier for others to describe the company's performance. The statements are also calculated in order and more information to obtain how much the SPRITZER earned during the year. SPRITZER also prepare their income statement well and easy to understand compared to the Financial Report of Kelantan. For Financial Report of Kelantan, they record all revenue and all expenses along with the information. Financial Report of Kelantan does not use an income statement formats like SPRITZER. Next, the second difference is that the Financial Report of Kelantan use table and chart to make a comparison of the total revenue and total expenditure earned in 2014 to 2018. While SPRITZER only makes a comparison between the total revenue and expenditure earned by the group and company. Not only that, the Financial Report of Kelantan also shows the revenue collection performance obtained by the state government in 2014 until 2018, which show whether it has increased or decreased. The information contained in SPRITZER income statement is a number of items that are in the revenue, tax, and expense categories. This income statement is divided into two calculations for group and company. The group obtains sales revenue from the customer by defining the transaction that occur has a contract with the customer with the transfer of certain goods and services at a time. The group also earns income from the mini-golf operation, where it receives mini-golf entrance fees, service fee provided, sale of merchandise, income from cafeterias, and other related service fees. The tax also plays an immortal role in determining an income. For Kelantan, Kelantan use a consolidated revenue account by accounting for all transactions, including revenue collection and expenditure, incurred to manage the state government. Based on my reading, the account was established in accordance with Article 97 and 98 of the Federal Constitution and Section 7A of the Financial Procedure Act 1957. The revenue collected by Kelantan is tax revenue, non-tax revenue, and non-revenue receipt. Tax revenue is revenue collected based on legislation approved by Parliament or the State Legislative Assembly. The revenue collected by the state government is used for the purpose of operating expenditure. These operating expenditure are divided into two: supply expenses and dependent expenses. These variable expenses are expenses directly borne by the consolidated fund, for example, pension and compensation pay.
Assalamualaikum. My name is SURIANI, matric number 048172. I will discuss the comparison mainly involving the financial statement. As for SPRITZER Berhad, there are 5 elements of financial statement, which is statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of financial position, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flows, and notes to the financial statement. In contrast, with the Kelantan financial report, there are also 5 elements of financial statement, but there are differences in terms of the presentation, the format, and the content of the statement. Certain statements have the same content and format as the private sector's one, but there are certain statements which is completely different compared to the private sector. The first one is penyata kedudukan kewangan or statement of financial position, penyata penerimaan dan pembayaran tunai, statement of cash flows, penyata prestasi kewangan, statement of financial performance, penyata account memorandum. This statement is totally different because it will classify all the assets and liabilities in this statement, which is different compared to statement of financial position, which compress all the classification of account in one statement, and also notes to the financial statement. We will discuss each and every statement's comparison in depth in the next slide. For private sector, the statement that comprise all the classifications of accounts, which is asset, liability, and equity, is called the statement of financial position. In statement of financial position, the assets are divided into 2 categories: the non-current assets and also the current assets. The liability is also divided into 2 categories, which are the non-current liability and also the current liability. As for equity, there are 2 categories too. It is divided into capital and also reserve section. Items in this section are share capital, treasury shares, and also reserves. As for Kelantan's financial report, the statement of financial position is called the penyata kedudukan kewangan. This penyata kedudukan kewangan, the name might sound similar to statement of financial position, but the content, the format, the presentation of the statement is totally different. In this statement, there are certain amount that government hold, which is called the government public money. The government public money consists of cash and investment held for consolidated fund. The consolidated fund or the consolidated account is divided into 3 accounts: the revenue account, the trust account, and also the loan account. In line with cash accounting basis, only general investments will be reported in penyata kedudukan kewangan. The other investments will be reported in statement of memorandum account. This statement of memorandum account will discuss further about the items of assets and other liabilities that are not disclosed in penyata kedudukan kewangan. Another difference that involves the comparison of financial statement is the presence of statement of changes in equity. Based on my finding, this statement is present in SPRITZER Berhad, but it is not available in the government sector financial report, which is the Kelantan financial report. This statement is prepared separately. There are two statements. For group and company, both are prepared separately. There are components which involve net profit or loss, dividend payments, like treasury shares, the error recognized, and also the two types of reserves, the distributable and non-distributable reserves. Next is the statement of memorandum account. Statement of memorandum account is present in Kelantan financial report, the government sector, but not in the private entity, which is SPRITZER Berhad. This is a statement that contains all of the assets and liabilities of the state government that are not disclosed in penyata kedudukan kewangan or statement of financial position. The components are of two parts: the state government assets, which is pinjaman tuntut, claimable loans, and other investments, and also the state government liability, which is the state government debt to the federal government. The major differences found in notes to financial statements mainly reflect the basis and also the accounting standard. For SPRITZER Berhad, this entity practice accrual accounting basis, while Kelantan financial report practice modified cash accounting basis. Another difference is relating to non-current asset, because non-current asset is only disclosed in SPRITZER Berhad. So the differences are in terms of historical cost basis, fair value asset measurement, and calculation of depreciation and amortization. This information is only available in SPRITZER Berhad because in Kelantan financial report there is no information relating to non-current asset. Last but not least is the revenue recognition. The revenue recognition involves the government sector, especially relating to non-exchange transaction, because the main government revenue comes, one of the example in this financial report for the non-exchange transaction is the quit then fine. Fine is an example of non-exchange transaction. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Desi Fitriani binti Samian. My metric number 052732. So now I'm going to explain about several differences financial report of public sector entity and private company. So the first one, basis of presentation financial statement. Basis of presentation financial statement describe the underlying basis used to prepare the financial statement of a company. The example of basis presentation financial statement is US Generally Accepted Accounting Policies, the Comprehensive Basis of Accounting, and International Financial Reporting Standard or IFRS. Meanwhile, accounting policies describe to all significant accounting policies of reporting entity. So after comparing both financial reporting of public sector of SPRITZER Berhad and Kelantan report, the basis of preparation of public sector company and private company is different. It is clearly shown in the financial statement of Financial Berhad and financial statement of Kelantan report. The financial statement of SPRITZER, which is a private company, have been prepared in accordance with Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard (MFRS), International Reporting Standard (IFRS), and the requirement of the Companies Act 2016 in Malaysia. In the current year, the report of company adopted all the amendments of MFRS issued by the Malaysian Accounting Standard Board (MASB). They are mandatory effective for an accounting period that begins on or after January 1, 2020. However, their adoption has not had any material impact on the disclosure or on the amount reported in the financial statement. For the basis of the accounting, the financial statement of the group and the company have been prepared on the historical basis, except for financial instruments that are measured at the fair value and at the end of its period. And then the historical cost is generally based on the consideration given in the exchange of the goods or services. Meanwhile, in Kelantan State Audit Chief Report, the Accountant General Department of Malaysia (AGD) has issued Malaysian Public Sector Accounting Standard (MPSAS) through a governance process such as that stated in the Ministerial Function Act 1969. It is functioning to determine public accounting policy system and also control in accordance with the Act Financial Procedure 1967. And lastly, MPSAS is based on the International Public Sector Accounting Standard or IPSAS. The next point is the users. The users of public sector financial reports are citizens, providers of resources of these public sector entities, selected representatives of parliament, and local authorities, analysts, and members of mass media and public sector entities themselves. And then, as a private sector company, the users that will be used the financial report of SPRITZER are the existing and potential investor, lenders, and also the other creditors. So, in conclusion, financial statement is structured financial representation of financial position and the transaction undertaken by company. The general purpose of financial statement is to provide information about the financial position, performance, and cash flow of a business that is useful to a wide range of users in making economic decisions. To meet this objective, financial statement provide information about a company's assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses, and also cash flow. It is also shown as the result of management's stewardship on the resources entrusted to it. So after analyzing the information in the both financial report of SPRITZER and financial report of Kelantan, there are several different elements identified in the public sector entity and private company financial report. It is because there are fundamental differences between the objective and users of private company and also public entities.